Today I'm going to give away a free t-shirt, bring you a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, bring you comics news, and reveal the books I bought this week. How y'all doing? I'm Victor, and you are watching the Comic Hero Show. Now kick that intro! Hey everyone, now this month is also PCOS Awareness Month. Now PCOS stands for Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome, and it's a hormonal disorder in which a woman ends up with large ovaries with small cysts on the outer edges. Now the cause of PCOS isn't well understood, but it may involve a combination of genetic and environmental factors. Now symptoms of PCOS include menstrual irregularity, excess hair growth, acne, and obesity. And complications of PCOS include infertility, gestational diabetes or pregnancy-induced high blood pressure, miscarriage or premature birth, non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, which is a severe liver inflammation caused by fat accumulation in the liver, metabolic syndrome, which is a cluster of conditions including high blood pressure, high blood sugar, and abnormal cholesterol or triglyceride levels that significantly increase a woman's risk of cardiovascular disease. And type 2 diabetes or prediabetes, sleep apnea, depression, anxiety, and eating disorders, abnormal uterine bleeding, cancer of the uterine lining, or endometrial cancer. Now here in the U.S., there are more than 200,000 cases per year. And I personally know some women that are living with PCOS, and I can only imagine what they go through on a daily basis. I mean, just about all these complications are heartbreaking, folks. And anytime that and then some of the symptoms are heartbreaking too, especially the excess hair growth and the acne. I mean, if you ever go around and you see a woman with facial hair or acne and you think it's funny, stop it. It's not funny. And also has bullying, which by the way, I'm going to raise awareness against next month. But if you think that's funny, then stop. It's not. Now this is a PCOS awareness comic hero tee, and inside the speech bubble you have the fist. Now the white fist represent those that are currently with us, and they're currently fighting. And it's also my encouragement of any woman who has PCOS to fight as well. And then the black fist represents those that have passed on due to complications of PCOS. By the way, you cannot die from PCOS, you can only die from complications from it. And here on the left sleeve you have the words, "I wear teal for her." Now you're probably wondering, who is her? Well, her is any woman, near or far, who are living with PCOS. And this is for y'all. Then here on the right sleeve, you have the word September. It's Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome Awareness Month. Now, if you would like one of your own, you can find them on my website, IamTheComicHero.com, for $17, and I will donate half of each purchase to the MD Anderson Cancer Center. Alright, now, last week I wasn't able to do the show due to work and a hefty t-shirt order that I had. And as a matter of fact, I wasn't even able to buy comics until this past Saturday. And as I'm doing it, it's Tuesday. And I'm going to go ahead and reveal those books right now. And yeah, so here we go. First up is Captain Marvel Dark Tempest number 3. Batman and Robin number 1. Oh, let me show you something. Double cover. Yeah, double cover alert. One of these days, I'm going to get this right. Yeah, but there's the double cover, folks. Brilliantly drawn by Simone D'Amio. All right, next up, Batman Incorporated number 12. Really excited about this book also. Daredevil number 1. Green Lantern number 3. The Immortal Thor number 1. Excited about this one as well. The Incredible Hulk number 4. Miles Morales Spider-Man number 10. Red Goblin number 8. Superman Lost number 6. Venom number 25. Venom Annual 2023. World's Finest Teen Titans number 3. X-Force number 44. And finally, X-Men Red number 15. All right, that's 15, which brings the total number of comics that I've bought since December of 1997 to 12,330. Edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. This month is Blood Cancer Awareness Month. Now I'm going to touch base more on that a little later on, but for right now, it's time to give away a free t-shirt. Or in the last episode, I asked true or false. Dr. Psycho, one of Wonder Woman's original nemesis, was inspired by a college professor of William Moulton Marston's who felt that women shouldn't be allowed to vote. Well, the correct answer is true. And he really didn't like this guy. And he didn't like him so much that he made a villain out of him. I mean, come on. There are times where we don't agree with folks and then we kind of vilify them. This was a very bright idea by Mr. Marston. So, God rest you, sir, and thank you. Well, the correct answer is true. And 9 people have answered correctly, and because they've answered correctly, Renee's been in a drawing for a free tee. And that drawing takes place right now. So the winner of the free tee for this week's episode of the show is Mark Peck from Shreveport, Louisiana. So congratulations, Mark. Give yourself a free comic hero tee. All right, here's the question for next week's episode, and this is a Guardians of the Galaxy question. What year did the Guardians of the Galaxy make their first appearance in the comics? All right, now here are the hints, and pay attention to these because there are 9 of them. All right, the first hint is that the Brady Bunch premiered in this year. The second hint, Dick Sargent replaced Dick York as Darren Stevens on Bewitched in this year. The third hint, Neil Armstrong walked on the moon in this year. The fourth hint, the Beatles released Abbey Road and played their last public performance in this year. The fifth hint, Isaac Hayes released his second studio album, Hot Buttered Soul, in this year. The sixth hint, Led Zeppelin released their first 2 albums in this year. Alright, the seventh hint, the band Chicago released their first album, The Chicago Transit Authority, in this year. The eighth hint, Judy Garland passed away in this year. And then the ninth and final hint, and this is only one word, Woodstock. Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in the drawing for a free tee on the next episode of the show. All right, now Mike Hart from Monroe, Louisiana has a Comic Heroes Throwdown Showdown fight, and this one features the Dark Knight going up against one of the brightest and most fascinating characters in comics. Representing DC, we have Batman, and also representing DC, we have Blue Beetle. These two are going to duke it out in a segment I like to call
The Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown.
Welcome to the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Today, it's Batman versus Blue Beetle. Batman is an expert detective, master martial artist, hand-to-hand combatant, escape artist, tactician, strategist, and field commander who possesses genius-level intellect, peak human physical and mental conditioning, and utilizes high-tech equipment and weapons. Blue Beetle possesses a Reef Scarab armored suit that grants him flight, superhuman strength and durability, melee weapon production, translation of alien languages, energy pulse shield projection, ability to create and unleash powerful hand blast and beams, sound manipulation, technomorphy, pyrokinesis, mechanokinesis, and a mind link with the Scarab due to his bond with Kaji Da. Who would win? Unfortunately, there wouldn't be any hand-to-hand combat in this fight. Blue Beetle would have the upper hand in the majority of this fight until it reaches a drastic turn in the end. Batman already did his homework on Blue Beetle. The former knows that the Reef Scarab is the epicenter of the latter's powers. Blue Beetle would use his full arsenal on Batman and would hardly let the latter generate any offense. Batman would duck and dodge a majority of Blue Beetle's attack, only suffering a few minor blows. Batman then hurls a batarang at Blue Beetle and purposely misses him. Blue Beetle jokes, "Your aim was off, old man. You missed." Batman smugly replies, "No, I didn't." The batarang was a heat seeker that Batman programmed to specifically target the Scarab. Direct hit. Disables Blue Beetle's suit and causes him to convert back to Jaime Reyes. Reyes wants no part of Batman without the suit, and he abruptly runs away. Batman wins, and that concludes this fight on the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Thank you, Mike Hart, for that fight. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I'll have another fight for episode 460, which is the 10th anniversary episode, which is in 2 weeks. Now, if you want to make a request, you can go ahead and do so, but I have rules. The first rule is that there has to be at least one comic book or manga character involved. The second hint, this comic book or manga character can go up against another comic book or manga character, a video game character, or a serious-minded cartoon character like Optimus Prime, Lion-O, Voltron, any member of G.I. Joe, anything like that. And also make sure that your request makes sense. I mean, it really wouldn't make a whole lot of sense for, Perry White to go up against Snake Eyes. Just saying. All right, now it's time for Comically Speaking. So without further ado, let's talk comics! All two things we're going to talk about in this segment of Comically Speaking, and here's the first. Now, I recently got a chance to finally see Blue Beetle. Now, it came out in theaters just over a month ago, and let me tell you, that was a great movie. I know there's some folks folks have their opinions about it, but you know what? That's fine. But I'm going to give you my opinion. Now, I love this movie. This is based on the current Blue Beetle, which is Jaime Reyes, who in the comics first became Blue Beetle during the Infinite Crisis miniseries in 2005. Now, there have been 3 Blue Beetles. Now, the first 2 had possession of the Scarab, but the Scarab never bonded to them. It didn't really, but then, I guess this is a tale of third time's the charm, because it bonded to Jaime Reyes, and he is now the Blue Beetle. Now, I forgot who the first Blue Beetle was, but the second was Ted Kord. He was a card-carrying member of the Justice League, and during the pre-Flashpoint DC universe, he's murdered by Wonder Woman villain Maxwell Lord. And I think somehow when DC did Rebirth, he came back from the dead. But Jaime. But let me see. Back to the movie though. The actor that played Jaime Reyes in it, he did an excellent job. And then the entire cast was great, especially that of George Lopez, who played Jaime's Uncle Rudy. And then Susan Sarandon, who played Ted Kord's sister, who wanted the Scarab for herself and was going at any and all lengths to get it, even if it meant murdering Jaime. But really enjoyed this movie. Now, if you can't stand the wait, go out in theaters and see it. I want to say it's currently out now, but if it's not, wait till it comes on Max or comes out on DVD. But anyway, you will not be disappointed. And speaking of folks not being disappointed, James Gunn, the president and head of DC Studios, saw an early screen of it, and he loved it so much that he wanted to make that character, the entire cast, the entire cast and crew, part of DC Studios moving forward. And there's going to be a sequel, and rumor has it that Ted Kord is going to be part of it. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I love that movie, and that movie also inspired me to. I bought the books first, but then after watching Blue Beetle, I'm glad that I bought. I'm starting collecting the Blue Beetle book, and I can't wait to read it. Still haven't gotten to it, but don't worry, I will. But Blue Beetle, yes. Comic Hero watched, Comic Hero approved. All right, now the second thing is that with this soon-to-be this miniseries that's about to wrap up called Ultimate Invasion, Marvel's Ultimate line of books is making a comeback. And one of the first things that was announced was Ultimate Spider-Man. And guess what? It's going to be the Ultimate Peter Parker. So Peter Parker is going to be somewhat back from the dead, and he's going to be the Ultimate Spider-Man moving forward. Now, after his death, Brian Michael Bendis co-created the Miles Morales Spider-Man and blew us away, but now he's part of the 616 Marvel Universe. So that paves the way for the return with Peter Parker returning from the dead, and it's going to be a brand new Ultimate Spider-Man series launching in January, and it's going to be written by Jonathan Hickman with art by Marco Checchetto. Now, Marco Checchetto is off the heels of his run on Daredevil with Chip Zdarsky. And then, of course, Jonathan Hickman reimagined the X-Men 4 years ago, and he's about to wrap up his run. So I honestly can't wait to read this, because, Peter Parker back from the dead, hey, I'm here for it. But there's also going to be some more news regarding Marvel's Ultimate line of books coming in New York Comic Con next month. And as soon as I find out what that news is, I will let y'all know on an episode next month. So stay tuned. All right, that's it for Comically Speaking. Now let's get to the comics I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
All right, before I go on, I want to correct a mistake that I made in the mystery pop-up segment. The count was not at 12,330. It was actually at 12,335. All right, now on to these books. First up is The Amazing Spider-Man number 34. Superman or Batman Superman World's Finest number 19. Really excited about this one. Captain America number 1. Catwoman number 57. Cyborg number 3. Dark X-Men number 2. Really excited about this one as well. Green Lantern World War Journal number 1. Guardians of the Galaxy number 6. Superman number 6. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 143. Titans number 3. Uncanny Avengers number 2. Really excited about this one. Uncanny Spider-Man number 1. Wolverine number 37. I'm also excited about this one. Wonder Woman number 1. And finally, X-Men Annual 2023. All right, that's 16, which brings the total number of comics that I've bought since December of 1997 to 12,351. All right, well, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Here's a question for a free tee for the next episode of the show. What year did the Guardians of the Galaxy make their first appearance in the comics? Now, here are the hints again. The first hint is that the Brady Bunch premiered in this year. The second hint, Dick Sargent replaced Dick York as Darren Stevens on Bewitched in this year. The third hint, Neil Armstrong walked on the moon in this year. The fourth hint, the Beatles released Abbey Road and played their last public performance in this year. The fifth hint, Isaac Hayes released his second studio album, Hot Buttered Soul, in this year. The sixth hint, Led Zeppelin released their first two albums in this year. The seventh hint, the band Chicago released their debut album, The Chicago Transit Authority, in this year. The eighth hint, Judy Garland passed away in this year. And then the ninth and final hint, Woodstock. Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tea on the next episode of the show. And congratulations to Mark Peck from Shreveport, Louisiana, who won a free tea on this episode. All right, now this month is Blood Cancer Awareness Month. Now, most blood cancers, also called hematologic cancers, start in the bone marrow, where blood cells are produced. Now, blood cancers occur when abnormal blood cells grow out of control, interfering with the function of normal blood cells, which fight off infection and produce new blood cells. Now, the main types of blood and bone marrow cancer are leukemia, lymphoma, and myeloma. Now, leukemia is a blood cancer that originates in the blood and bone marrow. It occurs when the body creates too many abnormal white blood cells and interferes with the bone marrow's ability to make red blood cells and platelets. Now, non-Hodgkin lymphoma is a blood cancer that develops in the lymphatic system from the cells called lymphocytes, a type of white blood cell that helps the body fight infections. Now, Hodgkin lymphoma is a blood cancer that develops in the lymphatic system from cells called lymphocytes. Hodgkin lymphoma is characterized by the presence of an abnormal lymphocyte called the Reed-Sternberg cell. And then lastly, multiple myeloma is a blood cancer that begins in the blood plasma cells, a type of white blood cell made in the bone marrow. Now, blood cancer, any of these types of blood cancer is very rare. There are less than 200,000 cases per year. However, I know someone who was diagnosed with blood cancer a few years ago. They've beaten it. It's in remission. And I know this person is watching. And if you're watching this and you happen to be fighting blood cancer, this episode is for y'all. I love y'all. And if you're the family member of someone who fought blood cancer and didn't make it, this episode is in loving memory of your family member, and it's also for y'all, and I love y'all. Now, this is a blood cancer awareness comic hero tea, and inside the speech bubble, you have the drops of blood. There's some white, which represent those that are currently fighting, and black, those that have fought and didn't make it. And then here on the left sleeve, you have the blood cancer awareness ribbon. Now, the orange is for leukemia, and then the Hodgkin lymphoma, or both Hodgkin and non-Hodgkin lymphoma, are purple and green, and then the red is myeloma. And then here on the right sleeve, you have hashtag Blood Cancer Awareness Month. Now, if you would like one of your own, you can find them on my website, IamTheComicHero.com, for $17, and I will donate half of each purchase to the MD Anderson Cancer Center. All right, it's all about helping each other, folks. I believe that we are here to help one another. So that's what I want to do, not just here on the show, but in my everyday life. All right, here's the road ahead for the show. On next week's episode, or the next episode rather, I am celebrating and raising awareness of the NICU. Now, NICU stands for the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit. It's where babies go that are born prematurely or born with illnesses. And I know some folks who have spent some time in the NICU, and I know some parents whose children were in the NICU, and I personally know some doctors and nurses that work in the NICU. This episode is for each and every one of y'all, and it's a loving memory of all those babies that were in the NICU but didn't make it. And then on episode 460, the 10th anniversary episode of the Comic Hero Show, and I am so excited about this. And later this week, I've already posted on the Comic Hero fan forum, but this week, all throughout social media and here on YouTube, I'm going to post the 10th anniversary Comic Hero tea. And your job, if you choose to do so, is to either like, love, or leave a personal comment, a positive comment rather, by the shirt. And if you do so, you will be entered in a drawing, a special drawing rather, at the end of episode 460. And I'm drawing 5 names. So go ahead and do so. And for those of y'all that have already liked the shirt on the Comic Hero fan forum, y'all got early bird access. And yeah, I'm really excited. I love doing the show. And you know what, I say this quite often, but, or really I don't really say this very often, but you know, love what you do. Then don't care about what anyone thinks, because if you love what you do, what anyone thinks doesn't matter. And if you love what you do, you're doing it right, because you don't want to play to the crowd, because the crowd will sometimes let you down. So love what you do. All right, if you're watching this for the first time on YouTube, welcome. As soon as you're done, hit subscribe. And if you're watching this for the first time on the Comic Book Lovers Facebook page, welcome. And as soon as you're done, go on YouTube and hit subscribe. All right, I'm Victor Nunley on the Comic Hero. I'll see you next week for episode, or in a few days rather, for episode 459. So until then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero.